Larry Bird never wanted to coach.
Yo, it's Skip, and I need you to join me as I react to the coaching genius no one saw coming, Larry Bird. Let's see the 3 years of success Larry had as a coach. Lock in with me.
Just a 3-year promise and a warning that he wasn't staying. But in that short window, he won Coach of the Year, pushed Jordan's Bulls to the brink, and led the Pacers to their first ever finals. So, how did a guy with zero experience nearly take down 2 dynasties? Was he a genius hiding in plain sight? After retiring in 1992, Larry Bird disappeared from the game.
So today I'm retiring, and I'm still going to be around.
No TV, no front office gig, just fishing, golfing. He was once asked about coming back to the game. His answer? I don't enjoy the spotlight, never have. I'd rather be home mowing my lawn. To Bird, coaching meant long hours, media scrutiny, and a life he'd already walked away from. The Pacers were flailing, 39 and 43, with Reggie Miller still in his prime, but a locker room on the edge.
So tell me, how can someone without coaching experience be this dangerous? No spotlight, no fame. Larry wasn't used to all that. You can imagine, Larry was dangerous when he played, and he's still dangerous when he's not playing. No coaching experience, just 3 years of coaching, and Larry is already dangerous. Imagine winning Coach of the Year without prior experience. I mean, that's crazy. That's amazing. I mean, who is Larry though?
Tensions were high, direction was unclear. Fans weren't just frustrated, they were running out of faith. They didn't need a tactician, they needed a savior. And for Indiana, there was only one name big enough to inspire instant hope: Larry Legend. He had never coached a single game, but his aura alone made people believe. For Pacers fans, it was a dream, their hometown hero, back to restore order. Bird said yes, but with one non-negotiable condition. He would coach for exactly 3 seasons, no more, no less. He didn't want to be the next Phil Jackson. He wasn't chasing rings or legacies.
Larry gave them hope. He gave the Pacers hope. Yes, they didn't need one big shot. It was just Larry they needed. And they had him. And although Larry gave them condition that he was going to be there for just 3 years, I think Larry is not a fame person. He doesn't want to be seen in the spotlight. Larry believes in hard work. If I have a goal, I need to reach that goal. I need to achieve success. And for 3 seasons, Larry proved that without coaching experience. Imagine how dangerous this man is. I mean, that's tough, man. You had Larry in today's NBA. I wonder what it would be like.
Wanted to reset the culture, build a winner, and then walk away. But what no one expected was how quickly he would do it. Year 1, instant impact. Larry Bird took a team that missed the playoffs and turned them into a 58-win powerhouse. The Pacers didn't just improve, they became contenders.
Yeah.
And in the Eastern Conference Finals, they went face-to-face with the ultimate test: Michael Jordan's Bulls, a dynasty, a juggernaut, the final season of The Last Dance. They pushed Jordan's Bulls to 7 games, arguably the toughest series Chicago faced that entire dynasty. In Game 7, with Reggie Miller's title dreams on the line, Bird called a timeout, rallied his veterans, and trusted Miller to lead a furious comeback. They fell just short, but Bird's poise under pressure sent a message.
Damn, bro. Imagine what Larry did with the Pacers. Used them. He restructured their thinking, their IQ, their gameplay without experience. He entrusted Reggie Miller. He entrusted the Pacers into Reggie Miller's care, and he delivered. Imagine pushing them against Jordan. Man, that's really tough, bro. Wonder what the game was like. I wonder what Larry's coaching season was like, because it should be the most amazing time ever.
This wasn't just a player coasting on his name. This wasn't a novelty hire. This was a coach with presence, command, and vision. Reggie Miller later said, Larry didn't yell. He just looked at you, and you knew you had to step up. That trust in his players turned a good team into a great one. Think about it. A rookie coach, no prior experience, going toe-to-toe with Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan, the greatest dynasty in NBA history. Bird's calm leadership, trust in veterans, and no-nonsense style clicked fast. He won NBA Coach of the Year, and true to form, he barely reacted.
Yeah, bro. Imagine being a coach without yelling, without making any move. Like, he controls the player with his thoughts, man. He looks at you and you know what you have to do. This man is strict with caution. He's strict with a purpose. I mean, Larry didn't even give in to pressure. He has the same confidence he had when he played, and how he coached. He had it in. Faced the toughest coach. He faced Michael Jordan. This is one of the greatest. Oh my God! In fact, this is the greatest dynasty. Larry is supreme. What kind of coach that doesn't yell at his players? He just looks at you and you have to know what to do. Damn.
No speeches, no chest pounding, just a nod and back to work. But was this just beginner's luck, or was Bird building something even bigger? Larry Bird wasn't a tactician like Popovich. He didn't obsess over X's and O's, but he did something just as valuable. He built a culture players believed in. Bird surrounded himself with sharp minds. Rick Carlisle, Dick Harder, and let them do what they did best. He didn't micromanage, he empowered. Behind the scenes, he held players accountable, managed egos, and out front, he led with quiet confidence. No
Yo. Damn. He managed egos and out front, coached with confidence. Calmly. This is crazy because imagine receiving awards and not even saying anything. No speech, no thank you. He don't even say how much he don't even talk much of himself. He doesn't give credit to anyone. He just nods and back to work. That's how serious Larry was. And he wasn't a tactician. I mean, lacked experience of coaching, but how was he able to do this? Larry was building behind walls, man. He wasn't out in the open. You know, Larry doesn't like the spotlight. He did everything in private and he delivered back to back to back.
drama, no distractions, just standards, and the results spoke for themselves. Back-to-back trips to the Eastern Conference Finals in '98 and '99. In the chaotic lockout-shortened '99 season, with no training camp and a new-look roster, Bird still led the Pacers to a 33-17 record and another deep run. Any doubts about him being a one-year wonder? Gone. Then came 2000.
Wow.
This was the moment Pacers fans had been waiting for. Reggie Miller still chasing his first ring, a young Jalen Rose finally stepping into the spotlight. Bird saw something in Rose, something others didn't. He gave him freedom and Rose delivered, a breakout playoff weapon, a symbol of Bird's low-key gift, developing talent by trusting it.
Now, this is what Larry Bird developed talent by trusting it. He saw something in Jalen Rose and he let him fly. They say, if you want to hear the bird sing, don't build a cage, grow a tree and let them come and they'll sing to you. That's what Larry did to Jalen Rose. He let him fly. He gave him a platform. He made sure he was free. He made sure he played his best. When Larry sees a talent, he makes sure he invests in that talent. IQly, training, he builds confidence, the same confidence he has, he builds it in his players. And Larry made sure everyone that played under his regime played with confidence. They played to win. They played to make the game perfect.
But just as they reached the mountaintop, they found a monster waiting. The finals. Shaq and Kobe.
Shaq.
67 wins. Prime dominance. The Lakers weren't just good, they were inevitable. Bird's Pacers battled. They kept it close. They fought through every screen, every elbow, every fourth quarter run. But in the end, the Lakers were too much. The Pacers fell in 6.
Oh,
Still,
no.
the impact was undeniable. Indiana had reached its first ever NBA Finals, and Larry Bird, just 3 years in, had taken them there. Most coaches spend a lifetime chasing that moment. Bird did it on his own terms.
Damn. Imagine leading the Pacers to meet the Lakers. The toughest team ever. With Shaq and Kobe in the same team. Bro, that's like having lion and fixing rats there. But who did it? Larry did it. Even though the Pacers lost to the Lakers severally. But Larry led them there. He led them to meet the Lakers. The unbeaten Lakers. He took them there. This is something that coaches, they spend lifetime, bro. It was so hard that they all know that back then, no one could beat the Lakers. Imagine having somebody like Shaq O'Neal and Kobe Bryant in one team. What are you thinking? Who do you think you will win? You're just joking with your life.
The question now wasn't whether Bird could coach, it was why he'd already decided to stop. And just like that, Larry Bird walked away. No messy contract drama, no locker room mutiny, no front office feud. He coached exactly 3 seasons, just like he said he would. No more, no less. Bird said, "I never intended to coach long term. 3 years. That's it." He didn't leave because he failed. He left because he finished what he set out to do. At his peak Coach of the Year, a finals appearance, and a culture reset. He walked away with the respect of his players, his peers, and his state. No scandals, no burnout, just results, legacy, closure. But for Pacers fans, it still stung. Bird had given them hope, a new identity, a reason to believe again. And then he was gone. He left on his terms, leaving behind one of the shortest, most successful coaching tenures in NBA history.
Nah, this is one hell of a statistics right here. Larry left on his own term. He didn't leave because he failed. He didn't leave because he failed to beat the Lakers. How many coaches do that today? He said he was going to coach for 3 years, and that's it. He's a man of his word. He won titles. He built a team. He left a legacy. And one most important thing is that Larry left with respect of the players, the fans, the whole team. He has the support. He left positively. There was no drama. There was no quarrel or anything as to why Larry left. Larry had stayed from beginning that he was going to coach for just 3 years. And that was it.
And one big question, what if he had stayed? Larry Bird wasn't just the Pacers coach, he was Indiana's son. From the hardwood at Indiana State to the bright lights of Boston, he carried the pride of an entire state. But coaching the Pacers, that was personal. It wasn't about legacy. It was about giving back. He took a fractured franchise and gave it a heartbeat. From small-town French Lick to the biggest stage in basketball. Bird became a living reminder of Indiana's underdog spirit. His 3 years on the sideline weren't just about wins. They were about proving what was possible for a team, a city, and a state that never stopped believing. And in doing so, Bird gave Indiana something it had never had before and hasn't forgotten since.
Bro, Larry gave back. He gave back to Indiana Sons, bro. Man, this man's story is a one hell of an impactful story. He gave back. Larry knew what he was doing. It was personal. He didn't come on contract. He gave back. He did it to give back. Because that's where he carried the pride of Indiana on his shoulders and he delivered. Bro, Larry is beyond legend.
A blueprint for greatness. Larry Bird's coaching career was short but nearly flawless. 147 wins, just 67 losses, a .687 win rate, Coach of the Year, and a finals run in just 3 seasons. His playoff record, 11-12. Not eye-popping until you remember who he lost to. Michael Jordan's Bulls. Shaq and Kobe's Lakers, two of the most dominant dynasties the league has ever seen. And unlike other NBA legends who struggled on the sidelines, Magic Johnson lasted 16 games.
Damn.
Isaiah Thomas flamed out in New York. Bird, he built a finals team on his first try. So, the question hangs in the air. What if he had stayed? Could he have become the next Popovich? Could he have built a dynasty in Indiana? His 3-year stretch screams untapped potential. A coaching career that didn't fade out, it just ended too soon. Years later, Bird would return as an executive and build another Pacers contender around Paul George.
Damn.
Different roles, same results: winning, stability, culture. He may never be remembered as one of the greatest coaches of all time, but maybe that's because he never gave us the chance to see just how great he could have been.
So what if Larry Bird had stayed beyond the 3 years he said he was going to stay as a coach? I mean, a lot of barriers would have been broken. Yeah, I'm sure he would have definitely defeated the Lakers at some point, yeah. He would have made sure his players were strong enough. His impact alone was so strong, was so powerful that he knew where you should play by looking at you. Bro, the Lakers were unbeaten, yes, back then. But with Larry, if Larry had stayed, I'm sure the Lakers would have been story of the past. Without prior experience, with the way Larry coached, if Larry was there beyond the 3 years, Larry would have been the best coach ever. Yes, he would have broken barriers. Larry would have been the best, unbeaten. Yes, action speaks louder than words. And Larry spoke, 3 years, I'm finna stay, and nothing much. That was it.
Most NBA legends flop as coaches. Larry Bird, he crushed it and then vanished. Coach of the Year, finals run, .687 win rate, and he still walked away. So, was he one of the greatest what-ifs in NBA coaching history? Drop a comment.
Yo, so we all know, I need you to tell me if you think if Larry had stayed beyond the 3 years, would he have been the best coach? And like, subscribe, and share. Leave your comments below. Tell me what I should react to next.
Could Bird have built